Well, there's nothing better than getting to spend a beautiful fall day in the woods. Mike has got a mess going on over here. Trying to get the wiring all into this truck box with the solar controller. And you got the solar controller because we couldn't hook up the amount of solar panels to charge the batteries that we wanted to the gate controller, right?
And I also think it's just better. I think it's probably got a pretty generic controller.
So you can only put, what did it say, 30 watts of solar to the ghost control gate controller.
It's 20 or 30.
20 or 30, something like that. But we have,
I think it was 20.
we got 3 solar panels down there, which are 20 watts apiece.
Yeah.
So that's 60 watts because we have 2 of the deep cycle batteries in our gate box, just because I want to run the post lights and all that off of it, and we want to make sure we have plenty of power because if our gate doesn't open, then we don't get in. So he's running all this. Boy, that really does look like a mess.
It's a mess.
Got a wad of wire there he's taking down and putting back up. And I am painting the entrance box for the gate. I love this thing. We just got it put up, and I'll show you the video of doing that. But it's got the little dog on it. I just love it, and I'm gonna paint that black, but I don't have any black paint today. I got orange for this. The pipe is staying stainless like the gate. I hope it looks great. We don't have the controller for it yet. We ordered one and it came and didn't work, so we have a second one on the way. And we want to welcome you to Hillbillies Do Stuff. We are the Hillbillies and we do stuff. All right, we're gonna go get some work done. So this is the control panel that we decided to get. We're hoping it works with the gate. Screen protector? Oh no, it says installation guide. Is it on here? Yeah. Hopefully it works with the gate, huh? Yeah, I guess we can, but we already ran the wires all the way over there, so. Well, we ran 8 wires and there's 9 on here, so hopefully we don't need them all. Okay. Get Mike a utility kilt, keep all your tools in.
Yeah, I mean.
You say utility kilt?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Is that what you want?
I'd wear one.
Okay.
If we make it like in leather and have little pockets for everything.
We're gonna work on it. I think a utility kilt is the way to go.
I've seen them.
What?
Yeah, I've seen them.
Bullshit.
So we need 2 runs to go down to the other one too.
So how many wires total?
7.
Okay, where's the other ones going? Oh, that direction.
Yeah, but we want to go up all at the same time.
Oh, okay. Like itches.
Oh, I'm sorry.
feeds the fucking deal up my rod.
Yeah, you better make this a filming opportunity.
What? I bring snacks.
I know, that's my favorite part is the snacks.
That's what I'm great at. Get it. Pull it. Teaches you.
Cut it
how-
with the grinder.
Cut it with a grinder.
Oh yeah. Sorry. He's got a grinder on it. That's not bad for the tree.
Just how the professionals do it.
Depends on how far you sink down into it.
It rains tonight and we'll put some more gravel on top of it.
Straighten it out.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I like it.
Back it on.
We gotta go for a walk, Benny. We gotta go for a walk, okay? You can't look at Robbie. Oh, yeah, you got, I don't know if there's room for washers on there, is there?
I think so. Once I screw it down, there will be.
go in there, try to do some. Silicone on there.
Yep. Zip tie with it. Got to get all those wires wrangled in there. Yep. It's a lot more stuff than you think you need for a gate.
So I need to bring 2 wires over to this guy.
That's our timer for our lights.
Yep.
We figured out how it works yet?
No, I have not worked there yet.
Yeah, no idea how it works.
I have no idea. I thought it might have to move this chain. No.
Cool. All right, here we go. This was an ordeal.
Not an ordeal.
It was a little bit of an ordeal. We got our upote or whatever kind of control panel this thing was. I think Mike picked that one because he liked all the fancy features. It has backlighting, the keys light up at night. It goes off when you aren't touching it. It can use the little card tappers, or it uses a code. The code will open the gate, and you can have, I don't remember how many different.
It'll also work off a phone app.
Oh, it'll work off a phone app. Okay.
We set it up.
We haven't set that up yet. But it took a little bit to get it working. So the ghost control system does not necessarily like you hooking other components up. And so they make it fairly ambiguous.
Really, they don't.
Their instructions are pretty ambiguous.
Yeah, they are. But really what it's asking for is simply a connection to common.
Yeah, it just wants a short to ground. So if you're hooking up a button, it just wants a momentary short to ground. And what this put out was not that.
No, it had 12 volts.
It was putting out 12 volts.
On its normally open, normally closed.
Yes.
So we could not put 12 volts into the ghost controller.
So we had our wires. We hooked up the power and the ground, and then we ran the common and the normally open wire, which was, what color was it? Brown. It was brown coming off of this particular control panel. Ran the normally open, which is the one that sent out the quick 12 volt power signal when you triggered the gate lock. We could not put that in to our ghost control panel over here. So we had to use a relay. And we don't have the relay finalized over here. All we did was test it. So the relay is kind of just hanging out back here. But to wire this relay to work, 85 and 86 were your power coming from the gate, the brown wire that sends the quick signal, and a ground or a common, the white coming from the control panel. And then 30 was a loop to ground, so we just looped the common. And then 87 which is one of your outputs. There's a normally closed and a normally open output on this. And 87 is the one that is going to the CYC on the monitored inputs on the ghost control. So that's the input that it asks for if you're using an exit button. So anytime you supply a quick short to common or short to ground on CYC, it's gonna open or close the gate, which is awesome that it works both directions. So that control panel right now is hooked up through this relay, and we'll leave it that way, but we're gonna wire it in a little bit more permanent location down there. But once again, 85 and 86 are your ground and your power, the power being the one with the signal on it. 30 right here is the ground that you want to send out, or the common that you want to send out to 87. That's the one that connects. So 87 is going to the board, and it's giving it just a quick ground signal, and that's what opens the gate. You want to go over there and open the gate? So it took a little bit, but we are going to put a second control panel in for exit. I don't want to just put a button in because you can see it from the gate, and I don't want somebody just being able to jump over and come in. So you'll have to put a code in on enter or exit. But there it is. Went ahead and triggered it just like a button. We just had to quick run that through that relay. Is there anything else you want to say about that?
Other than we're going to mount another one of these on the other side later.
Yeah, I just said that.
Oh, okay. And you'll wire into the exact same relay. We don't have to add another relay.
Right.
You'll just trigger the relay.
So we'll just add a wire to that relay, and it'll go into CYC on the monitor input on the ghost control just the same. So this is, that's how we got around that, not just having the basic ghost control with the battery in it that's wireless. I mean, I'm sure that's easier. I'm sure it's easier just to use the wireless one. It works like a garage door opener. It's just fine. We had to overly complicate things. This one was slightly cheaper. I'm sure it didn't end up being slightly cheaper by the time we bought all that wire, and now we've added a relay and all this stuff, but it's what we wanted. So we ended up getting what we wanted. It does use the cards, which I really, really, really like. And you said it'll use a phone app, and you can add like a ton of codes in there for different people, and you can set it up to where the codes can expire. They can only be used for one time. There's so many options on those codes. I think these are for like access entry doors in general. So it uses 12-volt power, but it doesn't use very much because we have everything set to turn off when you're not using it, but you just touch it and it goes ahead and comes on. So it's a pretty neat little deal. I can put a link to that in the comments or in the description, but it is working, opening our gate. Okay, I just wanted to clarify a few things here because I feel like sometimes when I'm explaining this stuff, I'm being overly complicated, unnecessarily complicated. So I wanted to explain how we hooked up this RFID Access Control Terminal, this door lock system, to our gate with the barely any instructions that it came with here. So what we were working with is this control panel and the wiring that comes off of it, and then I have the instructions that talk about that wiring. So when I was talking about the wires that we used to operate our gate, we definitely did not need all of them, okay? Because some of them are for features on a door lock or a system or an alarm system that we're just not using here. So for this particular application, we used the red and the black for power and ground, and this went straight to our 12-volt battery that we have right in our gate. All right, so we used the red and the black, And then the other wires that we used, so we used white, which is common, C-O-M, and that's white, and that is the ground that the control panel sends out. So these red and black, this is to power the control panel, and then everything else is what the control panel is sending out. So it's taking in 12 volts, and then based on what you do on the keypad, it's going to send out a signal. So we used white, common, and that went to our relay, and then we used blue, which was normally open. Okay, so it did not have power on it until you activate the control panel and it sends out that 12 volt signal. So we use this blue, we ran it, it looks like orange on the other side, or brown, because the wiring that we ran in between the control panel and the relay did not match what we had here. We just had the 4 colors that came in the bundle. So this blue, normally open, is what we used to control the other side of the relay. So I will show you on a relay then what we did from there. But that was the only 4 wires that it took to operate our gate panel. The rest of these we just folded up and stuck back inside in case we need them for another application. There's normally closed, there's 2 bell wires. I don't know what push is, but we did not need these wires. Another thing that I just want to say is if you are using this particular control panel, be aware that normally closed brown is, if you have the 12 volts hooked up to the control panel, this one always has 12 volt power on it, so it will short out to your other wires. And they do have the tip stripped back when you get it. So be aware that if you have 12 volts hooked to this, that this wire will be live with 12 volts. So just be careful with that. Okay, I made a little picture here, and I hope that this makes the relay setup a little bit simpler. It is really simple, and I'm probably explaining things I don't need to explain. But if I was unclear the first time, this is the terminal side of the relay. This is the side with the little posts sticking out that you can hook wires to. This is just the relay diagram. The way we hook this up is they're numbered on the diagram and then numbered on the back side, but sometimes they're a little bit hard to see. So 85 and 86 are the coil on the relay, so that has to be power and ground. So we put the common, the white wire from the control panel in there, and then we hooked the blue from the control panel, which was normally open, into 86 because that one provides 12 volts when the button is pushed. 30 is the one that makes the connection. Okay, so this is what you will be sending out to either 87A or 87. Now this relay was always connected to 87A. So if you needed to send something out all the time, we would hook it to 87A. But in this case, that's just its resting position for our purposes here. So we did not hook a wire to 87A. We looped the common over to 30, okay? Because we want a ground signal or a common signal to go out to the gate controller, because that's what is triggering our gate. So by hooking this common from 85 over to 30, that is what's available to send out to 87. So then this wire went to the control. On our ghost control system. So I don't know if this is the best way to do it. It's not the only way to do it. It's just how we came up with getting around the proprietary, you know, ghost control inputs. All it really wanted was that ground signal from a button, a momentary ground, which is what with this controller sending out that momentary signal of power. This allows us to not send power to the control board because it didn't want that. It wanted common or ground. So that the relay, when this connects, when this powers, it says whoop, go over here and connect to 87 for just a click, and that's enough to send common or ground out to the control board and open our gate or close our gate. So I hope that simplified it a little more. Let me know if there was something that was still really hard to understand. These are the instructions from the ghost control instruction booklet, and it shows how to wire the push button, their push button, into the control panel, and this is what we used to hook the control system that we chose instead of the button. So it says inactive, open circuit, has no connection, and when it's active, it's shorted to common or battery negative. That's how we knew what kind of signal it wanted, and where to hook it in was that CYC cycle input on hardwired input. So this bit of instruction is how we knew what kind of signal we needed to get from our control panel. And again, this is, you know, really only relevant if you have a control that you're trying to hook up to the ghost control board, or a control board that wants that momentary ground signal with a control panel that sends out 12 volt power. Not all of these send out 12 volt power. Some of them do send out a ground connection or ground signal, and if we would have gotten one of those, that probably would have saved us a lot of time, but this is what we came up with and how we made it work, and I'm pretty happy with it. Is that the other one?
Yeah. Okay.
And it's closing.
Not sure how much this 4 batteries make.
I know. We have been using the crap out of the open and close on this one poor little battery and those solar panels that are not set up in the sun yet, so we better stop or we're not going to be able to leave. Darn, we'll be stuck here. All right, cool. I'll tell you what, nothing has ever made me feel this fancy. Even my dirty windshield there, I still feel fancy. There ain't nothing hillbilly about this, is there?